Hello, friends. Do you want to start a business venture? Do you want to work on a project? And are you confused which one to go for, which one to choose, which business venture would give maximum returns, which business venture is worth investing? If you are confused, this is the video that tells you about 4 widely used methods for determining which business venture to choose. ROI stands for return on investment. What is this return on investment all about? Let's say we have 4 projects or 4 business initiatives. We are unsure which one to choose. We calculate the return on investment for each of the 4. Whichever is the maximum is the most viable business initiative. What is the return on investment? Return on investment is the profit anticipated divided by investment into 100. It's the percentage of profit. If this percentage is high, it means it's a better choice than the rest. Now it varies on when you do this calculation. If you do the calculation at the start of the project, that is helping you to determine the best of the set of initiatives. If you are doing it in the middle of the project, it actually lets you know whether you are going in the right direction or not. If you are not, you have an opportunity to stop that project. If you are doing at the end of the project, it lets you know the return of investment, how much you have actually got, the percentage. So based on when you calculate, the purpose of it varies. But this is a very strong metric that helps you take the right decision. Payback period is an other metric to determine whether my project or the business initiative is viable. What am I doing in the payback period? Let's say I have invested $1,000. I'm getting a profit of $200 at the end of year 1, $200 at the end of year 2, $200 at the end of year 3, similarly year 4, year 5, year 6, etc. That's my anticipated profit when I'm doing this calculation at the start. So the payback period is by when I get my investment back. My investment is $1,000. In this case, I would take 5 years to get my investment back. Let's say I choose another project. It gives me $500 every year. Then it would only take 2 years for me to get my investment back. So if the payback period is lower, it's a better project to choose. NPV stands for net present value. By net present value, you can understand that it is the sum of present values. So what are these present values? Let's say you are investing $100 for an investment for a business. The present value of it will be minus 100 because you're not getting anything, you are losing $100. So it is minus 100. Now, in this formula, you are assuming 2 things. First thing is the rate of return. You assume that you get 20% of rate of return across 5 years. So on the end of first year, you get 20% return, and then end of second year, you get 20%, third year, you get 20%. So considering you get 20% of return end of first year, what will be the present value for that amount? It is X. Now 20% end of second year will be another amount and what will be the present value for that amount. It will be lower than that value, right? So it will be y. And then the third year, considering 20%, you get some amount, the value of that amount will be lesser, even lesser. It will be z. And similarly, end of fourth year, what is the present value for that amount? End of fifth year, take it, what is the present value of that amount? Now you are totaling up all the present values and you get the net present value. If that net present value is positive, then it is worth investing. If it is negative, then it is not worth investing that money. So NPV is just a formula which takes the present values into consideration and determines whether your investment is worthwhile or not. The formula looks a little complex. I have referred to some websites, and there is one website where I found it to be very, very clear, the explanation for the formula, and I'm going to give it in the link as a link in my description. Please do refer to it. You don't have to by heart the formula. If possible, try to understand what that formula is, how it is derived, and then use that formula to determine the net present value. IRR stands for internal rate of return. It's another formula that helps you to understand whether your investment is worth investing or not. If you have gone through NPV, there is a formula for it. Now, the way that you calculate IRR is very simple. You assume that the NPV is 0. What is the percentage of return which makes the NPV 0 is the formula for the IRR. So look at the formula and use it to get the internal rate of return. Now you have a set of projects. You consider the IRR of all these projects. Whichever you get the most maximum is the best project to invest.